Hey everybody, this is Matt, and the new build of Streets of Rogue is out now. It's Alpha 12, it's got a ton of bug fixes, I think over 100 actually, and a lot of that is just stuff that people have sent me because in the past couple of weeks, ever since the game was like officially announced by Tiny Build, I've just been getting a ton of feedback from people, which is extremely cool and extremely useful, so thank you to everyone who has been sending me messages. Now with that, there are some questions that I have been getting on a pretty regular basis. So I created an FAQ, which is on my Tumblr. It's linked from there. But I'm going to go over some of that stuff right now. And in the background, as you can see, there is a Shapeshifter playthrough going on. So, without further ado, here are the questions that I get frequently asked. So, when is the final version coming out? Right now, it is planned to be August of 2017. That is what I have told Tiny Build, and I'm sure they would like me to stick with that because, you know, marketing and advertising and all that jazz. And plus, I think I'll go crazy if this game takes too long because I'm already in like hyper crunch mode on this. So yeah, August 2017 is our planned date. How much will it cost? I'm gonna guess the $12 to $15 range. I think it's a pretty good guesstimate for something like this. I mean, you know, that's typically what a pretty good pixel art roguelike goes for these days. So yeah, I'd say that. How long will the game be in free alpha? I don't know. Basically for the indefinite future. I mean, so far it's been working out really well. I've been getting a lot of great feedback, and it's a major help. So I'm going to keep it there as long as I reasonably can. What platforms is the game going to be on? Well, Windows, Mac, and Linux is actually out right now. I just put out Mac and Linux builds, so you can get those from my downloads page. Also, we are going to try to do Xbox One and PS4 ports as well. So hopefully those will be out when the final game comes out. When is the next build coming out? That's a question that I get a bunch because, I mean, I tend to release these things on a pretty irregular basis. And, I mean, like, towards the beginning when I was releasing these builds, it was, you know, anywhere from like a couple of weeks to months. And I think for the remainder of the time this is in alpha, I'm gonna try to keep it to like 2 to 4 weeks. I think it seems reasonable. It's been about 2 weeks since the previous build, and I have a new one coming out. So, yeah, hopefully I can stick to that. Hopefully. How can I stay informed about the game? I don't think anyone's actually worded it like that. I think it's, but yeah, I mean, yeah, people want to know sometimes how they can get updates and stuff. So there's a mailing list. It's on my website. You can sign up for that. If you download the game off my website, you can, you know, get messages about whenever new builds are coming out. And also, if you have a copy of the game, it will actually update you in the top right-hand corner of the main menu. There's a little widget there, and it'll tell you when there's new devlog updates and when there are new builds out. So there's that too. How long has the game been in development? The game has been in development since December of 2013. That's when I started working on it. I was working at a job at that point, and I was actually working on another game at the time as well, and I pretty much just stopped working on that game in like April of 2014 because Streets of Rogue was just taking up too much time, and that was kind of my priority, I guess. But I started working on the game full-time in March of 2015 when I got laid off from my job, and I was just like, ah, well, you know, this is a good opportunity. This is as good an opportunity as any to just start doing the full-time thing. So that's how that happened. What engine are you using? I am using Unity 5 right now. The game actually began development on something called Construct 2, or Construct 2, or however it's pronounced, which is an HTML5 based game development piece of software. It's really pretty great, especially if you're like prototyping and stuff. It's very easy to use, but just wasn't quite able to handle what I wanted to do with this game. So about 9 months in, I ended up porting the entire game over to Unity while simultaneously learning Unity. So yeah, that's how I familiarized myself with the game, just basically frantically porting over what I had in the span of a few months. Uh, so that was fun. Okay, possibly the biggest question I ever get asked, the most frequent question, will the game have online multiplayer? The answer is, hopefully. I would like to do that at some point. I really would. I can't make any promises. I'm not saying anything for sure. You know, I would hate for people to be disappointed, but, you know, it's hopefully going to happen at some point. I'd like it to. So, yeah, just stay tuned. 4 player split screen co-op. Probably not. Also, possibly. The game would be like, I don't know. I mean, like, it's 4 players. 4 players is kind of an interesting thing. It's like the game isn't really made for 4 players. I mean, generally when I was making this game, I mean, it was more just. I mean, as a solo designer, as the person who's developing this all the time and testing it, most of my testing is done with one person. So even 2 players. I mean, it's fun to watch people play 2 players at shows and things because it's something I never get to see, and people do all kinds of stuff that I never would have predicted. 4 players, yeah, I'm sure that would exacerbate that even further. And I mean, I think just the amount of stuff on the screen going on and just the amount of interface stuff, it would be kind of like super chaotic. But I don't know, maybe there's a way to make it work. We'll see. Mod support, I get asked about that a bunch. Hopefully at some point. I don't know what form that would take, and it might not make it for the initial release, for the initial ship of the game, but I'd like to put it in. When will the game have music? Well, hopefully pretty soon. I'm actually going to be working with the guy who's been doing my sound effects, Craig Barnes, on doing some music tracks for the game come this October. We're going to start like really trying to nail down what sound we want. And so hopefully there will be something or other in the game shortly after. What languages will the game be available in? I don't know just yet. I don't know. There's a lot of stuff to translate, and I would imagine whichever ones we think the game will sell in. I'm not sure what that's going to end up being, but there will be some kind of translation at some point, I'm sure. Will the game have unlocks? Yes, it will. The game is going to have a home base, which is going to be very similar to if you've ever played Enter the Gungeon or Crypt of the Necrodancer. It's going to be very similar to that kind of thing, where you collect things throughout your runs, and you can use those things to, like I think in Crypt of the Necrodancer it was diamonds, and you can use those things to purchase unlocks, or maybe you might just there will be a bunch of ways you can get unlocks. I think, I don't know, it's something you'll start to see in future builds. Maybe not that soon, but maybe once I get more of the world and the world of the game fleshed out, a lot more content in there, that's when I'll start doing all of that macro game stuff like unlocks. But yeah, you'll be able to do that stuff from the home base, and also skip ahead to higher levels. There will be these sort of mutator challenges in the game, like like I think one thing that'll be called like the Hotline Miami mode, which is like everybody in the game has really low health. Stuff like that, or putting like time limits on the levels, so you absolutely have to finish in a certain amount of time or you will just die. And maybe there's ways to get yourself more time. It's pretty easy to add like new little challenges like that to the game, and yeah, hopefully I'll be able to put in a bunch of those. Okay, so where can I report bugs? There is an in-game feedback form. If you click on feedback on the main menu, you can just send stuff to me directly. It goes right to my email. Also, I have a Discord channel, which is linked from the title screen of the game. And if you go there, you can just post in bug reports. There's like a bug reports channel under my main channel. Or you can just send bug reports to me via email. Hopefully in the near future I will have a forum up where people will also be able to post. So yeah, hopefully that's happening too. Do you take suggestions for the game? The answer is yes, actually. Basically, suggestions are really useful to me because I'm trying to fill out this game with a lot of content, and oftentimes people email me with really good suggestions. And you know that that actually it's like you're doing my job for me essentially. So yeah, if I see something that I really like, there's a very good chance that it might end up in the game because yeah, like I said, just lots of content needs to be filled out, and if somebody has a good idea, great, awesome. Can I make YouTube videos or stream the game? The answer is yes. There's no embargoes in place on any of that, so yeah, go for it. And that's about it. So, yeah, I think this run's going to be about halfway through by the time I'm finished recording this. So, yeah, enjoy that, and I will talk to you folks later.